Well, good day guys, Pro Bricky back in the office with another Dark Female Nature response video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, press the bell for more of this fantastic content. Let's get started guys, pretty well unrehearsed. Let's get into it.
You know what's funny? When you're on a date with a new guy and the whole time he thinks you're vibing, but really you're just waiting for your real man to say he's sorry. You know what's funny? When you're on a date with a new guy and the whole time he thinks you're vibing, but really you're just waiting for your real man to say he's sorry.
And a lot of the times when you meet these new Sheilas, they'll last a day or a couple of days and the next thing they disappeared because the ex has come back. Big key there guys, just be careful, keep things close to your heart until you know what you're dealing with. Okay guys, 5 signs someone's leading you on from the horse's mouth. Now she's applying this to women, but we'll apply it to guys because it works both ways. Gold information guys.
5 signs someone's leading you on. If you feel like you're being strung along and the relationship isn't progressing, keep listening. I'm Kimberly, I'm a relationship coach. Give me a follow if you need help mastering your love life. 1, they are 2 different people in private versus public.
And doesn't that happen a lot with women? They're one thing when they're on their own and another thing when they're out in public.
They'll be super affectionate with you behind closed doors and then cold and distant when you're out together. 2, they're flaky and will cancel plans with lame-ass excuses. Your next hangout will probably be up in the air and you'll get a lot of I'll let you knows.
That happens with Sheilas all the time, and then they whinge and complain when it happens to them.
They avoid any discussion about the relationship. If you've tried to bring it up, they've probably shut it down. 4.
And I'll tell you something too, guys. You don't want to, every time you see your fucking girlfriend, you don't want to be talking about the relationship. Oh, how do you think it's going? Oh, what's this and that? Leave that alone, guys. Let the relationship just work itself out. Don't just keep trying to measure it by sussing her out on how she feels. Let it go.
They switch up their behavior constantly. They'll be super affectionate with you one day and completely ghost you the next week.
Man, that's woman with a capital T. This woman's actually given us insights into women, not men.
And 5, your gut tells you something's off. Listen to what you know deep down to be true and get off the roller coaster. 5 signs.
So, you know, a lot of the time you meet these Sheilas and as soon as something's off, you get out of it. You don't hang around, and that was her advice, so that was good advice. And here's something I think we'll all agree with.
Today my divorce was finalized. I got a lot of people saying, congratulations on your divorce. Congratulations. Time to celebrate. For me, there's nothing to celebrate. The end of my family, the breakup of my marriage, the end of a huge, important era of my life. Divorce is nothing to celebrate.
And guess who probably went for the divorce? 100%, the woman. So I did a little bit more research on that guy, and this is what I come up with, guys. Please subscribe to the channel, press the bell for all the latest content. Here's a little bit more insight into this guy.
So lately, my For You page has been full of dudes just like me who have been discarded by the love of their life, the person they thought was their soulmate, who they'd be with forever. Wife, girlfriend, longtime partner. You thought it was forever, but she had other ideas. And now she's gone, and you're left, empty, sad, and alone. Maybe she cheated, and you can't figure out why it happened. You did your best. You work hard every day. You come home. You take care of your bills. You take care of your family. You thought you were taking care of her, even though she didn't give you any sex, any love, any affection, nothing that you need or you deserve. But you stuck it out and you did your best, right? Because you committed to it. Because you're a man, that's your family, and it's your job to take care of them. Well, I've been there, man. November 28th, I found out what was happening behind my back. I had all the proof, all the evidence. And even though I knew what was happening, I still wanted her to stay. 10 years had gone by and I don't want to waste that time. I don't want to lose my family. And I I begged her to stay. I thought, I can't go on. I can't live through it. I'll never get past it. The sorrow, the sadness, the overwhelming sense of doom and loss. It was more than when my parents died. I didn't know what to do. But she left anyway, and I didn't think I'd ever make it through. Now, 6.5 months later, it's a totally different life.
Guys, I know a lot of you have been through this. We've all been through this, and what he is saying is so true. And this just females have got a way of doing this, and for whatever reason, he seems like a nice guy. But he got out the other side. We all do. You don't have to be too hard on yourself. You have to realise that the possibility of this happening is around every corner. Depending on what you're up against and what happens to them and what influences them, or hormones or whatever. But this is a good little take, isn't it?
Not gonna lie, the first few weeks, horrible. But I made a commitment. I went to the gym every single day, 5 days a week. Gotta rest on Saturday and Sunday, right? I bought some new clothes. I started saying no to nothing. Somebody asked me to do something, even if I didn't feel like it, I was tired, whatever. I said yes. And I started to find me again. And then I realized none of that stuff that was happening for the past decade, none of it was good for me. And
maybe he's gone a little bit extreme there, guys. There's no need for anybody to lose themselves in a relationship. I think that's a personal flaw. I don't think you can blame the other person for that. You have to track yourself and keep your boundaries around yourself in a healthy way so that the other person you're not codependent on them. You've got no right to lose your independent personal structure because of an interpersonal dependent relationship. You can still manage yourself in a way in which you don't sell out your emotions and your heart into the vault of the relationship and still be a good person, because we're not taught the skills of being able to let go. And it's hard, because when you're invested like this man for 10 years, like many men, 20 years, 30 years into a loving relationship, and the next thing is getting pulled out from underneath you. The catastrophic and psychological damage that can do to you sometimes is irreparable, but through time, you can get out the other side. You really can. Subscribe to the channel, press the bell, and get more of this amazing content. When you get married, you don't want to fail. You want to, really carry out what you promised to do. But unfortunately, these days, there's too much against people when they get married. And I just don't think the culture's geared for success in marriage anymore. I know that sounds pessimistic, but I'm sorry, guys. There's just too much damage being done.
And it's not good for you either. Find yourself, my friend. Get out there, work out, start lifting, running, doing what you love. Find yourself again. And I swear to God, 6 months from now, you're not going to recognize your life or who you are or who you were for the last however long. And you're gonna feel fantastic. I promise you. Don't blame yourself. It's not your fault.
And too often, female nature has a way of disintegrating away from the commitments that are made. I guess expectations go into an unfair realm, and we just end up on the end of choices that some people wish they didn't make. I'm going to go to this clip, which is from Pearl. She's a very popular woman in the Red Pill community because she understands how women function and men, and she's onto these women. She really gives them a hard time.
divorced men 70 to 80% of the time. I would argue in relationships it's probably similar. Men aren't leaving, women are. So to a guy's point of view, he's going to commit to this girl. And what does he get? He doesn't get purity anymore. You know, these hoes. You know, he doesn't get youth anymore, so he doesn't get either of those things. A lot of times she already has a kid, so he's not fulfilling his mating strategy. On top of that, even if he does find a good woman that maybe has the qualities he's looking for, she was going to want him to marry her. And what does he get out of that? Oh, she can leave and take half and take my kid. And she's paid to take my kids away from me. She gets more money if she takes my children. And so from the men's point of view, they're just kind of like, F it, because like women aren't wives nowadays. And what do they get out of it?
But
like
you know,
men are logical. They're logical people. And so they're thinking, does the benefit outweigh the cost? And like, I just think as women, we have to look at ourselves and say, the benefits we bring nowadays don't outweigh the cost for divorced men.
Well, guys, I think Pearl really summed it up there, didn't she? Gosh. Guys, one of the things that impacted me as a really young child was the divorce of my mother and father, and the way in which my mother was treated. It wasn't her fault. He was a jockey. He had access to plenty of women as a jockey. The sport of kings, they say. And she really didn't get the right end of the straw. And I remember what she went through. And I'm going to play this video, guys. It's our last video. I'm going to finish with this. Of what happens to women on the other side of divorce as well. You're not going to see this. They really do try and put on a smiley face and that, but it's horrible for everyone, divorce. It's not, and again, this is the whole point of all this. We want to avoid these things. We want to be able to stay in our relationships, married or not, honestly. And here's just another side of looking at the female side of it, of where everyone ends up at some point on the other side of divorce.
I'm doing really ugly crying because oh, I didn't know my cat was in here. She must have thought I was crazy. Oh, I'm just really realizing that my marriage is over and it's really bad. Oh, I'm really sad.
So guys, sometimes women get left behind or they leave their husband behind. But the sanctity of marriage can never be replaced. Divorce, as sad as it might be a necessity, never takes away the intrinsic part of our innate way in which we've been made like God to stick by somebody. Of course, in today's society where you've got blended families and all the conflicts that come with that, the interferences that come with that, and then not being raised in a way in which we're ready to be married and all this other stuff. We just want to stop for a minute now and just take into account, without having hard hearts, how sad the loss of marriage is for everyone. And that woman just reminds me of just how horrible and sad it can really be for everyone. Guys, we got one to go and then I'll leave you at that. But if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel. Press the bell for more of this amazing content.
I'm going to try to make this video without crying because I was seeing the other one and it was pretty sad. But my situation is not something to be celebrating right now. Since I made the last two videos, I had a few people reaching out to me privately, showing support. Some of my friends saw it and they were also showing support and pretty much saying they don't support my decisions, but I'm choosing not to ask. But they know that the support I need is pretty much just to be there. One of the things I want to kind of document is how I'm getting through this, because it has been one day at a time. Have some decent days, have some very bad days, and I could have done all this without my support system, which is, again, my family, my friends, my parents. And I actually didn't talk about my my mentors. I mean, they have reached out to me, and I consider them mentors because they're the ones who teach me not only how to work on my business, but right now they're just showing just support. I got this pretty awesome cup from the same mentor. They are pretty sweet, with a moonstone, and this very nice note saying, "Mary, we hate that you're hurt so much right now, and we're sending you so much love." One of my other mentors calling me on Christmas Day, and even though I was crying pretty much the whole time he was talking to me, he just told me that he understood my decisions and he was gonna be there, and that he knew I was gonna make it. So that means the world to me. So pretty much every day I'm just deciding just to do one little thing. He decided to stay in this house for 6 months while he decides where he's gonna reside. So now the main bedroom is my bedroom / office, studio, and packing area, and the one that used to be my office is gonna become his bedroom. Again, thank you for everyone who has reached out, and if anyone has, again, any tips or has gone through anything similar and has any advice, I'll appreciate it if you just commented or send it to me on private. But thank you.
So guys, there's a whole world out there of people that have been broken, separated, chosen to leave, been left behind, and we were never designed to go through this. God didn't design us for all of this. And I just hope that this one's a little bit of a sobering moment for all of us, just to reflect on how important love is and how it's not a game, and it's something we need to take seriously. Guys, if you haven't subscribed, press the bell. This is Pro Bricky, Dark Female Nature Response video. See you on the next one. Bye for now.